Well, welcome everyone to our webinar tonight, where we're going to be talking about Shaklee as a wonderful home-based business, specifically talking tonight about the teaching profession and how that relates to a Shaklee business, or how it can. And one of the things, I'm Hannah Sharapin, as I think Joe already introduced me, but if you just joined us, Master Coordinator from Pennsylvania, and this is a way to be able to show you such a great situation for teachers. My background also is as a teacher, and it's probably one of the most important professions. I think we all probably agree that the income doesn't always line up with the service teachers offer, right?
Right.
So Shaklee's been our career now for over 35 years. But what I do love is that I still can get that same feeling of personal reward just because I'm teaching adults instead of children, and I'm watching their personal development. So I still get all my teaching needs, but yet I get to lead an incredible lifestyle. And you're going to get to hear from two wonderful women tonight. Katie Odom, a young mom and former teacher, is going to share with us her story and how it has impacted her life. And then Joe Coogan, Master Coordinator from Minnesota, is going to tell us about her experience. She came into Shaklee a little bit differently, and she, like us, has been in Shaklee for a long time, and she and her husband, Mike, were both teachers. So you're going to hear how they took their teaching expertise, too, and how they've used it to create such a wonderful, successful, large Shaklee business. So it's a great experience from the standpoint that if you're looking for something just as an adjunct, just to bring in additional income, or if you're looking for a whole change in career, how Shaklee can provide that. So, Katie, would you like to start us off?
Sure. Awesome. Well, my background is obviously as a teacher, and I taught for almost 5 years, and then I got pregnant with my daughter, and I had a choice to make, as many women do. It was either stay home or go to work and leave your children in childcare or with somebody else. And for a really long time, I had loved teaching, and there were so many rewards in teaching. Like you said, Hannah, I think that teachers are some of the best professions, as they are huge influencers in many children and young adults' lives, and we need teachers, and we need teachers that are healthy, but we also know that there are some hard sides to being a teacher that some people might not be aware of unless you have that experience of a teacher. And so what happened when my daughter was born is she, was a baby, and I was all wrapped up in the newborn, trying to just survive as a first-time mom. And as she got a little bit older, and my husband's job was in construction sales, and that, like many people with the economy a couple years ago, that hit and it affected a lot of people's jobs. We started really thinking through what I was going to do to be able to provide for our family. So I was really faced with, should I go back to teaching? What can I do? And what I really desired and yearned for was everything that Shaklee has been able to provide our family with, especially the flexibility and the way that I'm able to still use a lot of my teaching experience. But I've actually found that with Shaklee, I have been given so many other benefits that I would have never had as a teacher. And I think what's so amazing is back when I had my daughter, I had to choose. But now, as a Shaklee mom, as a Shaklee former teacher, I can actually do both. So I can actually be home with my children, and I could also provide an income for our families. And so when I was yeah, it really is, because I don't think many women are given those two choices. They have to either pick or choose. And it's a very, very, very hard decision, and I completely respect women who have to work outside the home, because a lot of us don't have many options. And so that's why we're so excited to share with you tonight about how Shaklee can be an option for you. And it can be an option that, depending on where you're at, can be something that, Shaklee has a wonderful fast track program that even allows people in a quick, short period of time to be able to earn or replace an additional income. So when I was introduced to Shaklee, I myself had been struggling with some health conditions of just some allergies and baby weight and energy, and started looking into more natural ways for that. And I was introduced to somebody at a baby shower, and they introduced me to Shaklee. And at that time, I had no idea that Shaklee was going to be the answer to so many of the things that I had wanted. So my health started improving. I finally started losing baby weight. And then the best part of everything is that I actually was able to begin earning income with Shaklee as I became a stay-at-home, or work-from-home, I guess I should say, a work-from-home mom. So what is really neat about Shaklee, and I love being able to share my story, especially with teachers who are on this call, is that we are using our skills every day in Shaklee. So what my team leader told me a couple years ago when I was first investigating Shaklee, Moira, she said, teachers do really well in this field, and this is very true. Teachers do very well in Shaklee. In fact, as I was thinking through my team, I was seeing so many teachers on my team because teachers are very good communicators. They're passionate. They have to know how to speak to people, and they have to be good listeners, but they also have to be good communicators. And what we are in Shaklee is we are educators and we are communicators of health and of wellness. And I think what's so great about what I get to do is I get to educate people on how to prevent and how to remove toxins from your family's home and how to live a healthier life. And also I get to share with people the difference that this business can make in your family's life. I've been in Shaklee for about 2 years now, a little over 2 years, and Shaklee has not only allowed me to replace my teaching income, but I've also get monthly payments for a car. I've been on one and will be in the next few months on a total of 3 all-inclusive paid trips with Shaklee. And as well, there's so many other benefits, but those are just in a 2-year period of time what I've been able to have. And we would have never been able to do that with a teaching income, especially with when you look at the amount of hours that I was putting in. Many people know that teachers, they don't clock out at 3 o'clock when the bell rings and the kids go off and you're like, oh, it's the end of the day. In some ways, that's just when teachers are able to get to the paperwork and are able to actually get to the grading and get to the communication that they have. And so what has been amazing about the Shaklee opportunity is as I put time and energy into my business at the beginning, I continue to get paid for that over and over again, which is really awesome and incredible. So the work that I've done, I will continue to get paid for many years to come as I develop customers that reorder on a monthly basis as well as I build a team. So
doesn't it give you a great... I'm sorry, Katie, I just wanted to interject when you were saying about when you took sick days. Isn't that a wonderful feeling, though, to know that if your children are sick, you don't have to make any special preparations. You're home anyhow. You can be there with them and actually perhaps even still have something with your business going on at the same time. So it's another side benefit, really.
Yeah, and I think that's really important, definitely, because I have a family member who actually she was let go from her position because her children kept getting sick and she had to keep asking for time off. And that's what happens. I mean, you're only allowed a certain amount of sick days. You're only allotted a certain amount of personal days. And with a teacher, when we have to take time off, it's very complicated. You are creating lesson plans for a substitute. You are having to follow up, and a lot of times you're having to deal with any type of discipline. I worked in a middle school, so when they had a sub, they knew, oh, I'm going to push the limits a little bit because this isn't my real teacher. And then you would sometimes have to deal with some discipline issues of kids who try to push the line when they get a sub. And I can remember no one ever would want to take time off because it was so difficult to take time off. And now when my kids get sick, I can drop everything and I can just take care of them. And that's the best thing. And I can work my Shaklee around my family. So my family can come first. And as I'm able to put Shaklee in around and through my life, I can interject that. And I love, and we'll talk about it in the slide coming up here, that a lot of what I've built my business around has been using social media, and social media is growing at a tremendous rate. And if you have a phone and if you're on social media, you can do this business. And the best part is that a lot of you are probably already on Facebook. So imagine just being able to go on Facebook now and get paid while you're doing it. And it doesn't take much time to do a Facebook post and to talk about the benefits of calcium and magnesium and how it can help with sleep and how it can help with heartburn and how it can help with digestion. You do one simple post and all of a sudden you have interest generated. So social media is definitely something that can reach your family and friends. And sometimes I have people that say to me, well, I don't know how many people I know. Well, you have a lot of friends on Facebook, so you know many. You know a lot. You know at least a couple hundred. And those couple hundred know at least a couple hundred. And so it's just an amazing tool that you have to be able to educate other people. And the flexibility, I mean, I really couldn't speak more about this because it's just so amazing to be able to still be a stay-at-home mom and to work during nap times or to work here and there while the kids are playing quietly, or to work like I am right now as the kids just went into bed, and to be able to just be flexible. And so when our family went to the Wisconsin Dells this weekend and I left on a Friday, and before if I would have left on a Friday I would have had to take the day off, but I didn't have to do that. And so that's just one of the many perks of that. And another thing that's really been appealing with Shaklee and our business is the community. The community aspect is really important. And you'll see here a quote. I love this quote. It says, "We don't believe in punching a time card, and neither should you." And that's what I love. With teaching, you put in a certain amount of hours, and a lot of times those hours were well over 40 hours a week. I mean, I would bring home probably a couple hours of work a week of just grading and emailing and lesson planning that was outside of 8 hours a day. And I would work very long hours. And I can remember when a Sunday night approached and my stomach would sink because I realized, oh no, I didn't get to my lesson plans and I need to get all of this done by Monday morning. And I just know that there have been so many times where I see a lot of my friends who will talk about how difficult it is to go back to work, especially, when you've had time off or when you've been on vacation or with your family. So the business is also about helping people, and we help people to get healthier. We help people to lose weight. We help people to create financial freedom for their family, and we also build each other up. And it feels so good that when somebody buys a product from us, their lives are changed. And that's one of the best things. Teachers have just a natural ability to help others, and teachers have a natural caring heart. And so this business comes very natural for teachers because teachers are already geared towards wanting to help other people. Teachers are already very caring. Teachers are also very good with organization, and organization is very important in this business because there is some administration that you have to do, and there's some mailing and follow-up and things like that, and that will come more naturally to a teacher because we are geared towards organization, and we're geared towards looking at the clock and knowing how much time we have to say certain things. And then this last slide that I'll talk about is having a nurturing and supportive work environment with our team of like-minded colleagues. And this has just been a huge blessing in Shaklee, is the ability to have like-minded friends as you do this business together. I have been able to reconnect with friends from elementary school, from high school, from college. I mean, it just floors me how I've been able to get to know people again after getting disconnected for a period of time. And they are truly some of my closest friends. And that's because in Shaklee we have such a community of openness with one another, but we also have such a community that is just welcoming. And we all have a passion of being able to help other people, and we have a passion to help get other people healthier. So it's just been so great to be able to travel together, to become close friends with one another. When I have something going on, whether it's personal or Shaklee-wise, I know that I have a list of names that I can call up to lean on to talk through something with. And also, it's a cooperative environment, and it's not competitive. When you see somebody succeed, everybody succeeds, and that's what's really awesome. And the compensation plan rewards leaders for helping others to grow, which is really neat because as you help develop a team, you get rewarded for that along the way. And you'll see here on the next page all
love
of
this.
the different ways
Yes, I do
we've
too.
been able to experience this business together. So we've had meetings by the pool together. We've been able to travel to Mexico. Many people have been able to travel all across the world. We've been able to we have a global conference every year, which is just so much fun, and we're able to connect there once a year where everybody throughout the whole country travels in. And this is all that we get to experience together. And we have a very active group on Facebook, and when somebody has a question, they go to our team to get answers for, and that just shows the type of community that we have.
Great.
Yeah. Go ahead. And Joe, you want to show us now from your end, because you came in a little bit differently.
Well done, Katie. I love hearing your story and how exciting your future is going to be. Mike and I started in Shaklee about 4 decades ago, and I'm giving away my age here, at a time when we were teaching, we were too passionate, we thought fairly intelligent, hardworking teachers. We really loved our students. We felt good about the influence we were having on their lives, but financially we were barely getting by. It was a struggle to meet our monthly obligations, let alone do any planning for the future or retirement or travel. And we would go for walks, or we'd be sitting at a kitchen table over a cup of coffee and say to ourselves, wouldn't it be great if money were the least of our worries? And then we'd go, well, yeah, it would be, but that's not going to happen. And then one day, years later, friends of ours, Gary and Faye Burke, showed us Shaklee. And at that time, we were struggling, like I had said, with credit card bills, college debts. We had a new mortgage payment and old furniture, a furnace that had died, a car that was about to. And so, it was like a lifeline being thrown to us when we found Shaklee. And we were excited because we thought this could change the course of our lives for us. Now, I have to tell you, in our first month, we only made $4.84. So
wow, that much?
Yeah, we didn't come out of the gate, but it was a start. And then we kept, we kept using the products and got some results with those. But since January of 2000, we've been paid by Shaklee. Well, now it's just right around $2.3 million. So there's huge potential with this opportunity. But what really caught our attention and made us sit up and take a good hard look at this, and Katie alluded to it earlier, it was the concept of residual income. And we were told by our sponsor that you do a lot of work in the beginning when you don't earn much. But as time goes by, you'll earn a lot from the work you've already done. And that was a foreign concept to me, because in my mind, you went to work on Monday, you finished your job on Friday, you got your check, then you went back to work the next Monday, put in your 30, 40, 50 hours, got your check. And now someone was telling me that if I would work diligently for a period of time, it might be 3 to 5 years, build something that was strong, I could get paid down the road in the future when I maybe wasn't working for the work I had already done. And that was just, it was something that really sparked, our attention. And then the more we used Shaklee products, the more they started to impact our lives. And one of the first things we noticed was that the Shaklee Get Clean products, particularly the laundry products, were perfect for Mike's sensitive skin. He didn't get any more itching and welting, and he just would have bad reactions to laundry products. And then for me, it was just a basic nutrition program that affected my energy level. I didn't have to go home from school and take a nap to get through the rest of the day. I had a lot more energy and stamina, which, gave me more hours in the day to do things. And the biggest impact of all was our getting pregnant. Well, my getting pregnant, actually. But both of us had been told we probably would not be able to have children. And about a little over a year when we were in Shaklee, we found out that we were going to have our first son. And
how awesome.
Yeah, and as they say, this changes everything.
Mm-hmm.
But it was, and I have to go back and say then after when Ryan, our first son, was born, then we were able to look at what we had coming in from Shaklee. And like Katie said, I struggled with the idea of not being an at-home mom. That was just, it was something that was, really in my heart that I wanted to be. So 2 years after we got started in Shaklee, when Ryan was born, we had enough money coming in from Shaklee then to replace my teaching income. So it was a no-brainer, really. It was very easy for us to make that decision that I could be an at-home mom. And it's been great. I loved it.
Yeah, and thanks, Joe. You always express it so well. And we've talked now about lifestyle and why it's such a terrific lifestyle. But one of the things I think that's real important to teachers is our integrity as well. So if we are going to do something different, or if we're going to do something in conjunction with teaching, we want to make sure that we're doing something that we can feel good about. So the Shaklee products and philosophy is something that I fell in love with from the very first day. In fact, that was so important to me in making the decision to come on board with Shaklee. So we feel great that we know that our products are safe. We don't have to say, oh, I hope they'll be okay. We know that when we're telling people to use these products, we know that they're going to get life-enhancing results. And, the fact that Shaklee conducts, actually it's 368 tests to be technical, on every botanical ingredient just to make sure there are no harmful contaminants. That's 240 more tests for pesticides than are required even by the U.S. Pharmacopoeia, and 100,000 quality tests a year to ensure purity and potency. And, it is absolutely amazing to be able to be in a situation where they're always safe. You don't ever have to apologize for a product. I know a lot of products come on the market, but we know that where we're concerned, we know that we have something to offer people that no one else does, because it's a company with a conscience. And that was something that was very, very important to me. In our 35 years in business, Shaklee has never disappointed me with that integrity. They do things way beyond industry standards, but also something that's very important is that they are recognized for that by such amazing people. Oprah had us on her show 5 times. The White House, the Vice President's house is cleaned with our wonderful green cleaning products. Olympians use our products. Captain Mark Kelly, the famous astronaut, uses our products because people see the results they've gotten. People continue to use these products. So that means to you another very successful way of having that income coming in, but all the while knowing that you're doing something good for everybody else. I love the fact that it's a win-win situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, we have a nice legacy of science and innovation to brag about. In fact, this year is the 100th year of our multiple vitamin, multiple mineral Vita-Lee that Dr. Shaklee developed 100 years ago this year. No other company can really claim anything even close to that, and he was so wise way back then to make sure everything was in harmony with nature. So you see a lot of people there that have been involved. One of the things that's very exciting, that even Nobel laureate Dr. Elizabeth Blackburn, who did her tremendous work with telomeres, is collaborating with Shaklee as well. So we're just feel really, really good about knowing that integrity, philosophy, science, innovation is always intact, so you can count on that.
Absolutely. Yeah, thank you. Well, and everything that you just said, backs up the product so that they work. People get results.
Right.
And that's why. And we're so, one of the things that attracted us to Shaklee initially was our founder, Dr. Forrest C. Shaklee. He was a quintessential person who thought out of the box, developing, a first multivitamin. He was he had one of the first in the country that had a holistic clinic. And I don't know, Hannah, do you remember there were like 13, 15 different professionals in his clinic, from surgeons to MDs to chiropractors,
Right.
I mean, it was just, and that allowed him to develop a company that could be extremely innovative.
Mm-hmm.
And then 10 years ago, Roger Barnett bought the company and is our new CEO, and he's an extremely visionary leader in the same pattern as Dr. Shackley. And so, for us, or what I like to say to someone, if you're looking for a company with a sound track record and innovation, a company that's secure in their history and their future, a company looking ahead to major growth, Shackley is really the company to be with. And I think all three of these men, Dr. Shackley, Roger Barnett, and Dr. Bruce Daggy, our Chief Scientific Officer, really are the heart and soul of our biggest asset in Shackley. And to me, that's always been our reputation of integrity and our culture of decency. And it just feels good to be in Shackley.
It sure does. Katie, can you take us on here and tell us more about some of these wonderful benefits you've been enjoying?
Yes, this has actually been one of the best things about Shackley for our family, because if it was not for Shackley, we would not be able to just go on the trips that we have been able to go on. So we actually went on our very first trip to Mexico this past December with our family. You can see the picture there of our I think Caleb was 6 months then, and our daughter was 3 years. And I will tell you, my daughter, to this day, still talks about Mexico. She still thinks of going back to the pirate ship, and we just had so much fun. And we also qualified to be able to go to Maui in May, and our family also, my husband and I, qualified to go to California to Shackley headquarters in June as well. So we will get to travel a lot, and we've even been able to travel down south for different trips to help our team do some grand openings. And so if you like to travel, but who doesn't like to travel, then Shackley will pay the bill. And that is the best thing, is that we got to enjoy everything about our Mexico trip and not have to worry about paying one dime for it, which was great. And we loved that. And it was just such a great opportunity, because teachers do not get to travel. I mean, teachers live on a very tight budget. And when it comes down to it, I can remember what that's like. You just couldn't afford to go on a trip, especially a trip to a different country or an exotic trip or an all-inclusive trip. So that's been a tremendous blessing. But also, as I talked about earlier, having a car payment has been wonderful as well. Because as our family, I was pregnant here in the bottom right picture, and my upline, Harper, and her family were able to get that Suburban. But when I was pregnant with my second, I knew that we needed a little bit more space, and so we were able to get the Chevy Traverse, which has been great for our family. And it's so nice that we just get monthly payments from Shackley for our car payment, and our son there likes to drive. That's where he's
yeah, I was thinking that's a child prodigy there.
Right.
He's a little angry driver on the road, but
he's cute.
And then also the financial benefits have been what I'm also very passionate about, because as a teacher, the median salary for teachers in the U.S., they range from about $42,000 for elementary to $46,000 for high school, and I would beg to say that that's a little bit on the higher range for some of the schools around us in the Chicagoland area, just depending on where you teach. And I know that there have been people who've actually calculated what it costs to do some of the things that a mom would do around the home, for example, cooking and cleaning, and even when you account for the gas that it takes to get to a job, and in your outfits and your work attire, things like that. And you quickly realize, in childcare can range anywhere from $800 a month to over $1,000 or $2,000, depending on how many kids you have. And so what's really great about Shackley is there's no limit to what you get paid. As they shared about Jo, which is tremendous, you're a huge inspiration to me. She is getting paid quite a bit of money each month from Shackley, and she would not have been able to earn that on a teaching salary.
That's true.
Unless maybe,
sure.
it doesn't happen with a teacher's salary, and unfortunately they're underpaid. But another thing too with teachers is the summer break. A lot of people think that teachers get this huge long summer break, and in reality, when it comes down to it, their break ends up being maybe 6 weeks because you still have to stay after the kids and wrap up the classroom, and then you have to go back early. And so although that's a great perk of teaching, and I can remember how amazing it was to be on summer break, you have the opportunity in Shaklee to take any breaks that you need, and that's what's so great. And what I love, too, is, again, and Joe talked about this whole idea of residual income. There have been many times where I've had to take little breaks here and there for my business, and I continued to get paid each week, each day, as people reordered and as my team continued to build and different things like that. And so you don't find that in really any job. And Joe, I think you're going to even talk about some of the average earnings that you make in Shaklee.
And was one of those little breaks having a baby, Katie?
Yes.
I like the way you said a little break, and I'm thinking, holy smokes. This is a chart that shows the annual average income in Shaklee by rank. And we're not going to get into that tonight, but to me, what I always like to say to people is you see the incomes there, pick an income that would be impactful in your family's life. Maybe it would just be doing something where you brought in an additional $12,000 a year, another $1,000 a month. Might help ease some of the angst around money in your house. And for some, it might be you're getting an income, $50,000, $65,000, so you could, not have to teach. And the income can just, as you keep working a plan and moving forward, your income goes up. Now, I have to mention here that for my husband, Mike, he was passionate about teaching. He loved high school students, and he didn't want to quit teaching. He continued to teach up until the time that he retired about 15 years ago. And Mike said it was interesting because he would almost every year have students that would say to him, geez, Mr. Coogan, it's so neat that you get to teach because you want to, not because you have to, which means they noticed something. Mike had a different approach to teaching because he knew at any point if it got to be too much, he could just, he could leave. Not that he wanted to, but he could. He had some options. And a life with options is much more fun, I think, to live than one without any options.
That's such an important point about Mike. I'm glad you brought that out.
Because you don't, a person, you can do Shaklee alongside of what you're currently doing. Or like Mike did, or it can be integrated into your life as a mom, like it is for Katie and her team, or like I did. I was an at-home mom and integrated Shaklee into that. But again, it is this whole concept of residual income. You only have to do the work once and be paid every month for years. And it's a concept that if you're not familiar with it, explore it. Before you make any decisions, check that whole concept out. And because we bought into this idea, we've been able to help a lot of other people have a different future, and Shaklee's blessed our lives. You see in the upper left our home in Minneapolis, and then we have a lake condo up in Hayward, Wisconsin, which we love taking, the two grandchildren, and you see the two boys. They're older now. They're 5 and 7, but this is Mike with the two grandsons, and they've got the iPad, and it's a guy thing because they're listening to the iPad. It's some app that makes all these different kinds of sounds, and, they're just laughing hilariously. And Mike and I love to travel. 2 years ago, we celebrated Mike's birthday in Lisbon, and then our youngest son and his wife live in Atlanta, and we get to go down there whenever we want to. We can go, every month, every other month. And here's what's so interesting about this is my husband always said that before Shaklee, we had dreams the size of a grapefruit, but our resources to accomplish those dreams were the size of a grape nut. Today, our dreams are still the size of a grapefruit, but our resources are now the size of a grapesuit. So we've been able to do some really cool things. So in winding down here, I just want to mention, for those of you that are new on the webinar tonight, there are 3 ways to engage in Shaklee. many people, they come in to use Shaklee products. They want to get healthier, they want to lose weight, they want less stress, more energy, all kinds of things, and we love people like that. And then some people look at Shaklee, they love the products, and they say, look, I want to get healthier, but I got family and friends, they want to get healthy too. I want to share these products and make a little money. I want to pay off some credit card bills. I want to help with a house payment. I want to set up a college fund. People never run out of reasons for extra money. And so some people come in, use, and share, and then others use and share and build, like you've heard Katie and I relate our stories tonight. And it can be an additional source of income. And we love and welcome people no matter what it is that they want to do and how they want to engage with us. And so I just want to summarize on the power of our profession for teachers, the freedom and flexibility we have. This network marketing profession is an incredible alternative, for people who are looking to supplement or replace their income so that they don't have to give up things that they want to do with the family. And as a financial opportunity, it's one of the best choices if you're looking to create some unlimited earning potential and you don't have a lot of upfront money. And fun and friendship, Katie did a beautiful job of showing and sharing the joy of working with like-minded people and going on trips and that. And then there's the opportunity for personal and professional growth. You get incredible training in Shaklee from, Shaklee and from your team. But you also have a chance to personally develop yourself so you can grow as a person. And that is a huge asset and one that I think is very intriguing to all of us in terms of what we can how we can grow with this thing while we're building a business and generating income. And so it's a great. And I want to end with this, just one quick thing. And I know we're running, but I read this someplace about, in short, they said financial success doesn't come from having a lot of money. It comes from not having to worry about money. And so I come full circle when I say that at one time we wanted money to be the least of our worries, and today that's so true.
Thank you so much, Joe, and thank you, Katie. You both did a marvelous job of being able to demonstrate what this business has meant to you and what it can mean to so many others. And we're so glad that you all joined us tonight. We hope that this was really enlightening to you on the value of having a Shaklee business and how you can decide how it can fit into your life, as Joe so well explained, and choose to either change careers, do a part-time, integrate it, however it is it would work for you. So we hope that you decide to look into this further, and the person that invited you certainly is going to be in touch with you to see what you think and see if they can help you in any way. And we are so grateful to you for being with us, and thank you so much, everyone, and everybody have a good evening.
Good night, everyone. Thank you for joining us.